Hello and welcome to the Cutie Art Crusaders, episode 164 for September 15th, 2015. My name is Rainbow Plasma, and I'm constantly amazed that we managed to make it to episode 164. That number is insane. I am also the host and organizer of the podcast, and today I'm joined by...
Burn to One, the special guest coordinator, and this week, for sure, I'll be the editor.
Hey, I'm Flutterguy317. I'm the media manager for the podcast.
And I'm Atmos Park. I do the questions and the DeviantArt and all that sort of stuff. And hey, we're all here this week.
Hey!
I know, right?
We are all here. It's a big change from last week.
Yeah, and last week you guys did like a ton of questions.
We nailed it.
Insane.
Man. We did a great job.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I will say, so I noticed something from last week that, well, first of all, my audio should be slightly better. I know my audio is still the worst, but that's fine. Something I noticed from last week is, you know, when we're talking about superpowers, we talked about superpowers a while ago.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I had this superpower to remember what I said on this podcast. Because every single week, without fail, there will be someone that messages us and, like, says something in, like, reference to what we said, and I have no idea what they're talking about.
Yeah.
For example, recently, Nazagoring's birthday was last week. And so we said happy birthday and all that kind of stuff. And she sent a tweet to us. And she said, "Oh, many feels were had. Thanks for the birthday shout out at Cutie Art Crusade." And then she said afterwards, "I think I snorted at the armpit part, though."
Yeah.
I have no idea what she's talking about. Not a clue. And she sent that, like, on Tuesday, like, when the episode airs. So, like, it was only, like, 4 or 5 days, but I have no idea what she's talking about.
Neither
It
do
happens,
I.
like, every couple of weeks.
Whoa.
I have no
I
idea.
was even there
Do
for
you
watching
remember, Ted?
No, I don't.
I was there to watch
Maybe
it.
she's just crazy.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. Anyways, I wish I had the superpower to actually remember what I said on this podcast, because I think I just, like, blanked that part out of my memory as soon as we're done.
That's so funny.
This is why you need to watch the episodes with us. Hint, hint.
No, I think there's a reason why I blank it out, Ted.
Oh.
Hey, Ted,
Wow.
I was there to watch it, and I don't remember that. So,
Yeah,
Yeah.
so was I.
although to be fair,
fair.
my stream was cutting out every 5 seconds.
Well, welcome to Australia.
Hmm.
Here's your internet tube and a kick in the pants.
Is it a
So,
tube or like a straw?
It's a series of tubes, Ted.
It's
I just
it's a
picture-
series of cans and strings.
I just picture
Oh.
the Australian network. There's just some guy in a room full of, like, servers just, like sucking on a straw. Like, this is how the internet
Our
gets
bits
to our
and bytes are
country.
delivered by messenger pigeon.
Just sucking on an Ethernet wire, like...
He's got to spit out the individual bits into like.
And he's your prime minister.
Oh,
So good.
political jokes. So funny.
So speaking of last week, you know, you were mentioning that
Okay.
we did a bunch of questions.
Yeah.
And I wanted to mention, we forgot to say last week, so we're going to say it at the beginning of this week. We need more questions.
Yeah, we do.
We nailed through a bunch of them, and we're always looking for more questions. But because we did a bunch of them last week, we're down to less than 20 questions now, which, you know, is still a fair amount, but we always appreciate getting new ones, and sometimes there's new exciting ones that you guys send in that, you know, make us bump it up in the queue. So, you know, we're always looking for more questions. If people want to send in more questions, then that'd be great. We always appreciate new people sending in questions, because we got a couple people who send in questions all the time. Those people are awesome, but we also appreciate hearing from new people as well. So if you haven't sent in a question before, you can send in questions to the email that we have, which is cutieartcrusaders@gmail.com.
Or if
And
you're
they
on
can-
Tumblr, click the Ask button, and we get those as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they can be about us, they can be about the show, or they can be, like, questions about art, you know? So, like, I don't know if we've gotten, like, a serious, like, hey, how to explain this thing in art real quick question in, like, a long time. But,
Yeah, I think it's because we went through a lot of those at the beginning,
Mhm.
and so we left kind of like the non-artsy ones
It's-
until
it's
now.
true.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, we're always looking for more questions. You know, we think that the question section is really fun. As we showed last week, it can be really fun. And we'd appreciate it if people could send in more, just so that we're not, you know, having to not do the question section for certain weeks or whatever.
Yeah.
Anyways, I didn't want to spend too much time on that, because we've actually got a really, really exciting question this week that's going to kind of not a question, new section thing like that we're doing for this week. So anyways, I don't want to talk about it too much, but it's going to be happening after the art, so look forward to that, and that's why I don't really want to waste any time. So you know, I just wanted to ask you guys, is there anything else that we want to talk about before we get to the art? Or
Bern, you had something that you wanted to talk about.
yeah, I did. Thanks.
Yes.
Yeah. I recently, I mentioned before, like 2 weeks ago, but I was going to EQLA, and so I went to EQLA, and I'm back, and I want to talk about it. It was great. Had
You met
amazing
White
time.
Diamonds.
I did. That was probably one of the highlights of the entire convention, is I got to meet White Diamonds herself.
Mm-hmm.
And
Is she Rarity?
She absolutely was everything that is Rarity.
I mean, we already knew that.
Yeah,
though.
I mean,
We interviewed
But
her
like,
twice.
we knew what she was like vocally, you know, or just some like a few things about her. But like even in person, she was just as fabulous as Rarity was. Like
Our friend Dave described it as like if it is an act, which he doesn't think it is, like it's flawless.
Yeah,
It's impeccable.
Yeah.
It's the best act he's ever seen because so it's not. She's just Rarity.
but it was
all the time.
It was really awesome and great to get to meet her. Like, she was a super cool person, and so like we just ended up hanging out at the con. And what I found out is I sent her a message on Tumblr and was like, "Hey, if you end up going to EQLA, like hit me up. Here's my number if you have any questions." Blah blah. And she got that in her email, and so she told me that she wasn't planning to go to EQLA. She decided that she wasn't gonna go, and she had forgot that she was like, "Oh, you know, like I'll end up going," because she had some table plans with Hardwick's art, but that fell through, so they weren't able to vend. But when she got my message, she credited me for like getting her to actually like go to the convention, and so when the convention was over, she ended up thanking me for like getting her to go because she had an amazing time, like meeting everyone and like in the vendor hall and like meeting a bunch of friends. And there was one point where she printed out a bunch of some art from her Tumblr to give it to people as gifts in the like little FedEx store in the hotel, and then people started recognizing her and her art, and they were like, "Oh my god, I love you, I get your signature?" And she was like, so she was famous for a few hours there in the little print shop, which was really funny.
Nice.
That's really funny. Well, I'm glad because cons are a really awesome experience, and I've been in her position before where you're like, oh, I don't really want to go out to this thing, and like 95% of the time, like you really should go out to those things because they're so much fun, right?
Yeah.
And I'm glad that she was able to be convinced to go because, like you said, she had a great time, and that's a really good experience. So I'm glad that you could give her that experience.
Yeah, it was an awesome time.
So next con that she goes to, though, she has to wear like a Rarity wig and a horn and stuff, right?
Yeah, it's true. She was wearing a giant button that Hardwick's art made for her that had Rarity and Applejack on it, and they were yin and yang. She posted on her Tumblr, if you remember. And it was a big button. So. I mean, it was like 4 or 5 inches big, and of Rarity and Applejack and the yin and yang, and it was really cute. So like people could pick her out, so I recognized her when she got there. But yeah, no, a bunch of other few cool things happened as well. Like it was a neat convention for me because like since I knew like tons of people in the vendor hall, I kind of just like spent most of my convention just hopping from like vendor table to vendor table, just like kind of standing behind with them, chatting with people and like sitting or helping out. And so like I manned Dark Flame's table for a little while. I ran Johan's booth for a while, and because Johan was sharing a table with Set, and then I ran Dave's table, late customer. I sat behind his table and pretended to be him for a bit. And while I was standing behind his table one time, I don't know if I was like filling in for him or if he wasn't there, but someone came up and they're like, "Oh, hey, like I remember you, like I recognize your art." And I was like, "Oh God, like I'm not the artist." And then he was like, "I love your thing on Cutie Crusades or whatever it is." And I'm like, "Do you mean Cutie Art Crusader?" He's like, "Yeah, that's the thing." And I'm like, "I'm Cutie Art Crusader." Hey. Yeah,
it is really cool to like sit behind people's tables at the vendor hall and being able like because we've been in the business for long enough now. Whenever we go to conventions, we always know at least a handful of people that we can go and chat with behind their booths and stuff, and so it's always a cool experience.
You make us sound so old, like we should have big white beards or something.
We've been doing this for over 3 years.
We're veterans now,
Right.
brah.
It's crazy.
We are.
We're
probably one of the most experienced. The 4 of us are probably some of the most experienced pony art critiques in the fandom. That scares
I mean,
If
3
we
years.
don't say so myself.
But we've been doing it for like 3.5 years.
Yeah.
It's a long time.
We've experienced like everything about it too, because we did the media thing, we've done the vendor thing,
that's true.
like by
That's true.
being with vendors.
By extension, yeah.
Yeah.
My opinion is credible.
I haven't. Well, mate,
Yeah.
kind of.
Yeah, Joel, you've done stuff too. You've come down, you've come to cons, you've seen vendors, you've talked to vendors.
Yeah, it's true.
You got to meet
there.
Nazagoreng.
You gotta just
Yeah.
So
see
lucky.
now you know Naz and stuff, and you're in Australia. You just gotta like push yourself into the like Australian brony circuit. It'll happen.
You need to rule that circuit
you
so that
are
when
the-
we take over the world,
Yeah.
you're going to have your little continent
Right.
covered, okay?
Sweet.
Mhm.
I mean,
Exactly.
I've got business cards now.
Yeah,
there you
yeah.
go.
All right, so we really do need to move on. Sorry, Bernd.
No, it's all right. That was about it.
So we do
Good
really
time.
need to move on because we've got lots of art to get to. We've got a fun thing that we're going to do after the art. So yeah, let's dig right into it. I'm going to go first because that's what random.org said we should do. All right, so my piece is called Rainbow Dash by, oh boy, Gyang Hanez 2880. Gyang Hanez 2880. Yeah, so anyways, it's an art piece by an artist that I don't think we've featured before, maybe once. But anyways, this artist is really awesome. It's kind of like a new artist to me, and she does some really awesome stuff with just different techniques, and she seems to be an up-and-coming artist. So I thought I would feature her art on the show because I really like showing off new artists. And this is a beautiful little piece with a cute little rainbow dash.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a unique one. I'd say this artist in general has a lot of unique stuff. Like I have two pieces by this artist in my favorites, and they're both just like very, I don't know, done in a way that like, uniquely is just a good way of putting it. Like the artist makes choices that like you don't see a lot of other artists in the fandom like make, whether that's with like color composition or especially like style, how she draws the pony. So like Rainbow Dash is like her head is kind of like drawn a specific style. Like her eyes are very big, her nose is very small and like low on her face. Her neck cranes back quite far, and like her ears are very big. And it's just like there are all these little unique things that make the pony kind of stand out and look like, I don't know, different than how someone else would draw Rainbow Dash, or versus show accurate. It's very different from that as well. But it's very cute. It's I like how it's done. I like how Rainbow Dash is drawn in this piece.
Looking through the
almost like a
looking through
beak.
her gallery, at least the most recent stuff, it seems she has a liking for drawing sort of organic characters and geometric backgrounds type of thing.
Yeah.
Like if you look at like I said, at least the most recent stuff, there's a big central character, usually towards the foreground, but not necessarily, and there's usually some sort of geometric pattern or shape or something in the background. And Rainbow Dash, it's the triangle wing type things, and a lot of the other ones it's a basic cityscape.
Yeah, it's like a little townscape or buildings like in
So that's
marked in the
that's something
background.
that signifies them.
Yeah, it's a nice contrast. Kind of makes the pony stand out against like,
Yeah.
or at least separates it.
There's that going on in this piece too, with that kind of like etched spikes or rays behind Rainbow Dash as well, which is a nice like graphic.
Yeah.
Well, as I mentioned before, it's I think when talking about this artist, I really want to describe her as an up-and-coming artist, because her gallery is very clean in that there's really not much there when you look at it. There seems to be a lot of experimentation going on, a lot of new concepts being explored, and these last couple of pieces that she's produced have really shown to me that she's got what it takes to continue and to really become a great artist if she puts the time in like she did, I think, in this kind of piece. And that's really cool to me. But you know, as you mentioned, there seems to be some semblance of playing with these geometric backgrounds, and I think that's kind of an indication that she's finding what she likes to do, and she's figuring out interesting things and just trying them out, right?
Yeah.
And that is super cool.
I totally agree with that. Like the foundations are there, and then like things look well rendered. And there's definitely like a style that she's kind of like picking out, right? That's kind of like evolving, as I'm looking at the gallery, where it's like I see similarities between pieces a lot, and
Right.
that usually has to do with the vibrant colors and then this kind of like use of perspective where there's like a horizon line and like a character or characters placed along that line, and then some kind of very colorful background, either with buildings or clouds or something.
I like the lighting and the shading on Rainbow Dash too. It's kind of unique in that like it's a lot of outline. Like the lighting is a lot of outlines. Like if you look up in Rainbow Dash's mane in the ear and stuff, like it kind of reminds me of a little bit of Joey Darkmeat, how he like used to really bold the outline lines.
Yeah.
Right.
But instead of obviously like using just a pen with different thicknesses, it's like putting some highlights on the edges.
This artist really likes bright backlit silhouettes in a lot of her different pieces, especially this one is no exception. But like what's done really well in a couple others, and especially in this one with Rainbow Dash, that silhouette, it's a color complement. So it's purple and yellow. Yeah. So they like really like bounce off of each other.
Yeah. Yeah. I think, you know, when we talk about lighting, I'm always amazed at how our brains interpret colors based on the surroundings and not just based off of the literal colors that you see on the screen, right? Until you mentioned the word purple burned, I did not register that Rainbow Dash is very purple in this piece. It just didn't register in my brain at all. I've seen this piece since it's come out, which was on August 21st. You know, I've had this in the gallery ready to go and feature it. Not once have I ever noticed that the actual colors in the piece are quite purple and quite violet.
See, ever since our like plurple episode,
there was a plurple episode.
Well, it was our color episode, I think. With
also, wouldn't it be plelo?
Plelo.
We had a purple or a
peach,
violet episode, whatever it was.
Peach and purple, plurple, something like that. I don't know.
The episode was about violet.
Okay.
No, ever since like that episode, it's kind of easy for me to pick out like the purple because it's kind of the first thing that I look for in a piece now.
Okay,
Thanks, Burned, by the way.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, it's just really interesting to me because like what the lighting does is the lighting tells us, okay, she's in shadow, right? So she's going to be darkened, you know, and what my brain did was like it registered, okay, well the character looks darker than normal, but that's fine because she's in shadow, and so then it tricks me into going, okay, well here's what her color would be if she wasn't in shadow, and that gets translated into the blue. And that's a really cool process. It's kind of the way that your brain kind of registers literal colors versus situational colors, and that's spectacular.
Would you say cool. She's like the blue and gold dress?
I was gonna say is she black and gold?
Oh my god!
Yeah, it's very it's very similar, right?
It's the exact same thing as you just described.
I got frustrated constantly when people would take that picture and try to use the eyedropper on it, because that's not the point of what that picture is supposed to be. It's all about what this character or what this dress actually is, regardless of the lighting situation, right? The lighting situation is there to trick your brain into thinking something. And that's kind of a similar effect here, right? The lighting situation tricks your brain into going, okay, this is blue. But if you were to actually eyedrop it, it's like, well, technically, she's purple.
Well, you see,
it's really
cool. How different people interpret it. For example, you see the blue, I see purple, because I see the literal color. I don't see the how it's supposed to trick you.
Well, now I see purple now that I've realized it.
Yeah, but I instantly saw purple. I didn't have to think about it.
Yeah, Joel.
So it just depends how each individual person sees it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And so it's subjective and is due to person. So like, I am curious now if I'm like you, Joel, where if I'm like, instead of being kind of like a perceiver where you see like a picture and then your brain assumes, okay, this is what this would be in said light. So you assume that it's blue or something. I'm curious if I actually look just for like what would be true color or something like on my monitor, because I don't know if there's been a situation in which I've been placed where it's like, I assume this is a color, where I mean, yeah, you know what I mean?
Well, and I think it depends on the picture too, right?
Yeah.
Because like the first thing that people are going to say is like, "Whoa, what did you think the dress is?" But like, that's a completely different scenario, and I think it's completely situational to the lighting and the different scenarios that each piece presents.
Well, and like I think it also kind of goes along with how kind of vibrant the piece is too, because like we've seen some pieces where like by Rain Gear, I want to say, where it's like he uses purple in the clouds and stuff, but you can't really tell like if you look at it, because it's like well blended and it doesn't really pop out and stuff. But like in this piece, like Rainbow Dash is very much popping out with the color choices and the lighting and everything like that. So it could just be like that you guys are seeing the purple, and I see it as well, but like because it does stand out a bit more.
Right.
Other things, if you don't mind me really quick pointing them out, is like just since we're kind of giving the artist almost a critique, is like what is it? I enjoy the composition of Rainbow Dash, right? Where she's intentionally placed on the right hand side, and then there's a bunch of kind of like empty space on the left hand side. But it is, it serves a purpose where like these leaves and clouds are kind of actually pointing at Rainbow Dash, kind of like sloping down and like pointing back at her. Kind of leads your eye, and also makes this a great wallpaper. Throwing that out there.
Yeah.
It's a huge piece. It's 4,000 by 2,000, which isn't perfect wallpaper size, but it
can easily
still
be
lovely and big.
scaled.
You can scale it down, which is fine. Scaling down is always fine. Never scale up. Ugh.
Yeah.
Right.
That's a tip out there for artists that I didn't know when I tried doing art, which is like start with a huge canvas and scale down afterwards if you need to. It'll
That's
make
what
your
I do.
pieces look better.
I mean, in fact, this is what I do anyway, but...
Yeah. If you can, because like the larger your piece is, the more processing power your PC needs. But
well, and like also the harder it is because you have to physically
that's true.
scale those pixels. But anyways, we need to move on to our next art piece. So that is Ted's.
Katarina.
Yay. So the piece I chose for this week is called Pretty Bleh by My Magic Dream.
But it's not.
I feel like this piece should be called Pretty Blep. Yeah, there you go, Joel. Same page.
Yeah, Pretty
Great
Blep.
minds think alike.
It's a blep.
Yeah, it is a blep.
Yeah. It is.
I mean, it could still be BLEH and then just add a P to the end. Like, it doesn't have to be like actual blep BLEP.
I'm going to scroll down just enough so I can only see half of the H so it looks like a B.
Bleb?
Oh, yeah. It's bleb. Didn't work how I figured. All right.
Wow. So this is Rarity. Looking quite bleppy, I guess. And I really like the colors in this piece. They're very, very vibrant.
Yeah.
Pretty saturated. I love there's like 4 different colors, 3 different colors that My Magic Dream uses in this pretty exclusively. And each one of them is very saturated and very much pops against the other one.
Yellow, red,
She's
violet,
a fire
blue,
truck red.
and orange.
Yeah. 5 colors.
I was just kind of looking to see what major colors I see,
Yeah.
I'll tell you what major colors I see. I see red and I see purple.
Uh-huh.
Good.
Right.
Everything else just blends into my brain.
Mm-hmm.
I see that.
Yeah. So yeah, that was kind of what caught my attention with this piece. Also, I love My Magic Dreams pony anatomy with the squarish muzzles.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
very
Yep.
cute.
Yeah.
Very neat.
Square muzzles are really cool. I like that style as
Can
well.
I just take this opportunity to really quick say, oh my god, My Magic Dream Doomer IC. Did you guys see that? Did you see that?
Really? I did not see this yet.
Seriously.
Oh my god, why did I not see this yet?
No, I
I'm
haven't
glad
seen
we're
it.
taking this detour in a time
I
in
didn't
a
get
time
to gush
sensitive
about
podcast.
it. She's like, by the way, I drew this like a year ago. Supplies, and then she uploaded it to.
No, I'm glad you're
to her.
still not linking it, and we still have to wait. I'm
Yeah.
glad. I'm
Oh,
really glad,
you wanted
Bird.
me to link it.
There it
Normally, you
is.
just say Burden should smell.
I'm also really, really jealous because I love her watercolor work.
See, I haven't even added this to my favorites yet because I didn't know it existed.
My
Wow.
gladness can only be expressed in the amount of words that I'm choosing to say right now.
Hey, everybody, look at my horse.
Your horse is
It's
amazing.
so pretty. All right, that's enough of me.
You know what's a more amazing horse than you? Rarity.
If my magic.
Oh, snap. It's true.
Snap.
Hey.
My magic dream, if you're listening to this, thank you very much. I appreciate you.
So,
And I'm so jealous.
I'm confused, guys.
Mm.
Do you want to know why I'm confused?
All right,
Go
go on.
on.
Because those leaves look kind of similar to maple leaves,
Eh.
but they're really not quite. Like, the shape is kind of off.
Yeah.
Maple leaves have, they have a lot of points to them, but generally speaking, they have kind of 5 big points, or
You're
3
right,
big
it's a
points
Canada
and 2
tree.
little ones. And it's just difficult because it seems very similar. A lot of them look like they have those 5 points, but I don't know if they're supposed to be. I don't know too much about other types of trees, so I'm not sure if those are supposed to be maple leaves. But that's the first thing that came to my mind.
They're even Canada colors too.
It could be, yeah.
What, those
I mean,
leaves? Those are maple
this-
leaves.
yeah.
This does remind me a lot of like fall in like Canada or Vermont or something.
Yeah,
like
I don't
that.
know. It's like that does. There's a lot of things that remind me of that, but at the same time, when I look at the individual leaves, like they're really not quite maple leaves in the
Yeah,
shape.
but maple leaves don't always look like the Canadian maple leaf. There's lots of different maples, and that is a type of maple.
Yeah, like it could be a Japanese maple for all we know.
Right, but I would want to see like what kind, just because like I would want to see the inspiration leaf that was based on, you know. I would love to
My
see that
magic
because
dream.
it doesn't look like any of the traditional different types of maple leaves that I've seen, and
Yeah.
I've seen like a good 3 or 4 of
It's
them.
it's a 5 or
4
7
different types.
pointed leaf, and like maples vary any like space in between that, even with like 7 sometimes.
Mm.
So it's like
Right. Well, and sometimes even 3. Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'm just curious because it doesn't look like any maple
I feel
leaf
ya.
variations that I know of.
I think it
But
was
it's very
more just
close.
like, let's draw a generic 5-pointed leaf that happens to be red, and less like intention on the accuracy of foliage. You know what I mean?
Foliage.
Foliage,
Foliage.
foliation.
Yep.
Regardless, it is very pretty, is very red, and is very vibrant.
Mhm.
Something I want to point out is that like how like vibrant and light that those leaves are in comparison to everything else is like a very stark contrast, but it's almost like unless you like really like look and hone in on the leaves, you almost don't notice.
Yeah.
Does that
Well,
make
it's
sense?
a very subtle way of making them like stick out and be another be in the foreground.
because like they pop out, but the only thing that makes them pop out is just how saturated they are. So
Mhm.
like
Yeah.
there's no like outline to them or like other like effect to make them really pop from everything else. So like you can definitely tell when it's like placed against Rarity's ear or like her hair, but like up above, you know, where it kind of start to blend in everything, it's just like their saturation, which creates a really cool effect because everything else in the piece, with the exception of maybe Rarity's eyes and little tongue, are very kind of desaturated.
Speaking of
Mhm.
tongue, that the way she made that tongue stand out, even though it's like the same color as everything else in the background, it really pops. I was pretty amazed at how much it pops out to me.
Yeah, I feel like because it's a little pinker, right? So like
Yeah.
that little shift in hue is enough to make it really stick out.
Yeah.
But
Well, I don't
And-
know if this is intentional or if this is just because of Rarity's style or whatnot, but I feel like her mane, especially in this piece, kind of directs your focus up towards her blip, her tongue a little
yeah.
bit. Because you got like these curls down below. With
There's
one
lots of
that's coming
different
up and,
lines
like-
in her
Yeah, I'd
hair
say
that
there's
point to her mouth.
yeah, there's implied lines that kind of like
Yeah.
not even implied. There's like actual. Well, yeah, no, there is implied lines that point to her tongue, but they're created
Mhm.
by actual lines of the outlines of her hair and stuff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's true.
And I wanted to bring up this point because we were just talking about it in the previous piece, but you know, again, when I look at this piece, Rarity is white. Like I get that because the context is she's in shade, but if you color pick it, it's like a deep browny red
Mhm.
color.
And
it's
that's
like
what I'm seeing.
there's very few parts on her that are actually white.
Yep.
And yet my brain still will look at it and go, no, that character is white.
Yeah.
Because it's taking in the context of the
Everything
shading of the
around her.
piece.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's pattern matching.
That's a very
basically.
good point. I see that more in this piece than the other one because it was like such a bright, vibrant with the bright silhouette of
This
yellow.
one's more subtle for
Yeah,
sure.
Where this one, like, I could totally get what you mean because she's so affected by how much like red and orange and yellow there is around her.
This is like a less extreme version of the concept I was talking about in the last piece.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Much more understandable, I think, for the majority of people.
Yeah.
But I like. I guess this piece again is kind of an opposite composition than the last one, but I enjoy how there's like this kind of like foreground with the leaves, and then you have like to kind of like break in front of Rarity. I don't know. I enjoy that little cute dynamic, you know, almost like she's peering around said leaves. Adds to this cuteness.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Wonder what the scenario is in this. Maybe we're supposed to be Applejack, and this is like a Rare Jack kind of thing.
Yeah, I feel you. Yeah. Oh yeah. Real quick, I think I said she earlier, where I believe my magic dream is he. It doesn't state on DeviantArt, but his name is Edwin. So like I'm assuming. So apologies, internet is awkward.
Oh, yeah.
Internet.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm.
So
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, we do need to move on.
Yes.
So that's a great awkward note to move on to. That's fine. We'll be back. So the next one, Burn, that's yours.
Okay. Okay. Hold on. All right. So the one I chose for this week is another Sass Monkey piece. Apparently, we've been featuring him a lot lately, but he's a man who deserves many featuring. And this piece is called Night for Apples. And go figure, it's Applejack supplies. But one thing I like about this piece and why I chose to feature it is it's like a continuation of a series he's done before. And so he used to do like, he did some pieces of the Apple family and kind of like armor in the woods and had this kind of like spooky kind of desaturated green colors and stuff. And that was maybe like a year ago or more, and I really enjoyed it then. And so now this is the new and improved Assassin Monkey take on that kind of like humanized armor pictures he did back when. And like, oh my gosh, like every single bloody year he makes something, it just keeps getting better and better. And so I thought this was just like, it really deserved to be featured for like, even I know if I think we featured some of those maybe back on the show a while ago, a year ago. So like of our fans, or
I think so,
like, fans of Assassin Monkey, it's good to kind of like we've been like slowly featuring his art from year to year. Oh, it's funny. We should go back like 3 years ago, like when we first featured Assassin Monkey, and look at it now.
Like we've had him on, but can we just do like an Assassin Monkey progression episode or something like that?
Yeah, right. But
well, it's funny because it's really easy to, like Bern said, go back 3 years ago and look at the difference between him then and now. But I think this piece is spectacular because it shows the continued progression of his art.
Mm-hmm.
You know, obviously you'll see the most improvement in your art in the first year or first 2 years, right? As you grow as an artist, and then diminishing returns as you go on.
But not only that,
Assassin Monkey seems to not do that. It just keeps going.
Yeah, and not only that, it's a different type of improvement too. So like before we were looking at his improvement with ponies, right? And so we're like, oh, like pony faces are weird, and then we're like, oh my god, his pony faces are really good. And now and this is a humanized version. So he was learning like how to draw humans, and now like it's like his improvement on drawing the human figure as well. And so it's like, wow, does this character look full round? And what I mean by that is like the character has volume, has shading. Her arm looks like it is physically round. Her armor looks like it physically like takes place in space. Where before, like there were some dynamics of how he drew armor or the figure that seemed kind of inherently flat. You know, it like really looked like a 2D thing of a character. Where this one, like I feel like her sword is actually jutting out at me, and like I'm overly impressed at like how round her legs are and how round her outstretched arm looks, and just like the armor and how like shiny and even more round that it looks. I don't know, it's too good. It's too good.
Well, and by the way, you were mentioning you don't know when the last one came out. It was about a year and a half.
Oh my.
It was March 2014.
Wow.
Look at that. Look at it.
Can I just say that I really, really like how he rendered the armor in this? Like it actually looks like it's tarnished and like not polished and like dirty and beaten up a bit.
Yeah. So oh my god, yeah. I just clicked on the old drawing. I'm gonna put it on the screen for everyone. Like just wow, I'm in awe at like the sheer difference in I guess the fancy word stuck in my head due to my art teacher is verisimilitude. But what that overly wordy word means is just like it's accurateness to reality, you know, like to a picture, what we recognize as reality or realistic. Fancy words like that are just to avoid the word realistic because it's not precise enough. But still, like, I mean, it's so much more well rendered or like accurately rendered into like how like we would see a picture made up Applejack.
All right, Bernd is going away from his microphone.
I'm
all right, I'm going to jump in here so I can actually talk. So what I really enjoy about the contrast between these two pieces is specifically, funny that I use the word contrast because I like the contrast. I like the fact that the value changes in this newer piece are a lot less. They jut out a lot less. In the last piece, the differences between the darks and the lights, there were things that were completely in the dark and things that were completely in the light, and that made them stand out, yes. But I enjoy how there's a wider range of value in this piece, and how he uses the light in a more effective way where we can actually see the character better, and yet she still stands out, you know, because of the small value shifts along the edges of her and the background. And so the character is no longer in the dark, or what it seemed like in the dark, where there's these pockets in the piece that are just so deep and dark that it's the lighting, I think, is a big improvement for me. It might just be a subjective thing, but I really think he's improved in terms of keeping the character and keeping the value from taking too many extremes in one piece.
And he's doing that that vignette again that we were talking about last week, with the off to the sides where it gets darkest. There's not really anything there.
Yeah, it's a very subtle, like vignette-esque effect. Yeah,
Not vinegar.
Yeah,
That's a salad dressing.
He
Oh.
Well, I've watched when he illustrates stuff like this, he'll draw like kind of like the background and the character and do like a few things very sketchily, and then kind of in his final stages of adjustment, he actually does go through a huge like phase that does take quite a while where like he messes with the levels, with the color, and like with throwing actual like brush transparencies over like the outsides of the piece or behind the layers of the character to create kind of like the white haze that kind of contrasts Applejack and Winona, don't forget about her, from the actual background, you know, and then also darkens the edges and then plays with like the colors on the edges, so he throws some like overlay layers to kind of like mess with the actual colors around everything to get it just so, you know.
Yeah,
it's very cool stuff.
it's a good art piece.
Thematically,
I mean,
it's really cute too.
gosh, we just like I find I actually kind of run out of things to say when I talk about Assassin Monkey's pieces, and it's not because he's not a great artist or that his pieces don't have a lot
Just
to talk
too
about.
in
I
awe.
feel like I'm on loop because we feature him
We're
so
not
often,
we're not
and
worthy to critique something of
it's
this
just
of this
like
manner.
we continually bring up his improvement over and over and over again, so I'm trying not to
Yeah.
repeat the same
So let's not talk
things.
about his improvement since we've
Wait,
been there. But
I
go
have
ahead.
something.
I have something.
Ted, then
Okay.
Joel.
Okay.
and then go.
I like the little point of reflective lighting on the tip of her sword because it's not like in your face, like big bright point that like most artists I guess would do to like kind of make the sword pop. It's like actually fairly realistic, like that you have, you know, light shining on your sword and it's like it's reflecting on the top of it like continuously, but there's just that little extra spark to give like the tip of the sword this like really
Like
stand
that.
out
It's
thing.
subtle and not overblown like an anime or something.
Yeah.
Okay, Joel.
Yeah, I just wanted to point out the work in progress for this one is an actual work in progress. It's not a draw circle then draw pony. It's an actual
Assassin Monkey
process.
always does really, really awesome processes. So if you want to also draw something that's amazing, get a little gander.
Yeah, but I think what Joel was saying is sometimes it seems like an Assassin Monkey's work in progress. It goes from like one step to another, and all of a sudden it's like, well, I'm completely lost because it went from sketch to amazing.
Yeah,
and I think
which is the one
there's
we're
a little
talking
bit
about last
more.
week.
You can
guys went
see
against.
those layer and color adjustments in the very last step that I was talking about, where everything kind of shifts hues in areas. So
Yeah.
I'll try to
I think
attempt to put that on the screen.
it goes without saying, if you're a fan at all of pony art and you're not following Assassin Monkey on DeviantArt, then you're doing something wrong.
Really quick, some things I wanted to point out is if you look at Applejack's armor, specifically below her like apple belt buckle, you can see some bright hints of violet, so like some very actually bright purple, like right in there in the shadow, and then also in the glove of her hand where she's holding her sword, and also on Winona under her chin. There's this like incorporation of violet there, like some bright hues. And I just really, really liked that touch. Because everything seems so subtle and like brown and saturated, but there's actually some like really well put like bright colors thrown in there to create some kind of like contrast and then unique shading, which is just a really cool touch.
If you look at the work in progress, you can definitely see that he's added that between the second to last and last step, and added the whole like a filter over the whole type thing, like a sepia almost filter.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It really makes things pop, and I really enjoy that touch between the green of the grass and then like the violet and like touches of art and stuff. Obviously, apple shield, apple belt. I don't think we mentioned that.
Yeah, all apples all the time.
Yeah.
Right.
So much apple.
And he's also done a waifu version.
Yay!
It's in the suggestions.
Oh, really?
You know what?
I need to.
You know
I need
what?
to do this.
A
He's done
waifu
a
version.
waifu version.
Yeah.
Oh, waifu.
A waifu version.
Okay.
Nice.
I didn't.
Yes, he
I didn't
has.
catch what that word was, and so it confused me.
And she looks very human.
She's a sorcerer in that one. Cool.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah.
Ooh. Yeah, that's very recent. So he seems to be going through these pieces.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the series is ongoing as of this time of recording.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Need to commission
We
him
look forward to seeing more, I guess.
to do me.
Oh, shush. My
He already
God.
did you. He did you as a
Gonna
wizard.
pay him lots of
Yeah.
money.
Yeah, he did you as Gandalf.
Take my money.
It's true.
You also have My Magic Dream drew you as well.
Yeah,
Speaking
I know.
of,
How many horse famous artists can you get to draw you? I mean, come on.
Not enough. Never enough.
Save some for the rest of us. All right. So now, speaking of My Magic Dream,
Hey.
mine is called Siesta by My Magic Dream.
This is cute.
So
It
cute.
is.
I just remembered that siesta means sleep.
Yeah, it does.
Wow. Yeah.
I did not know that.
Well, the more you know.
And Fiesta is party.
Rainbows.
Hey.
Also the name of
Fiesta,
the
siesta.
I think that's why people get confused.
Yeah, right.
Right? Because people hear fiesta and they're like,
Yeah.
"Oh, it's party."
Well, first
and
you
then they hear
fiesta and then you
and
siesta.
it's like, it sounds like fiesta. But it's not at all.
All right. Well,
speaking-
anyway, I like this one.
ahead.
It's weird geometric shapes that end up making a picture, and it's great.
Isn't that what all art is, really?
Say
Yeah,
that
I
one more
guess.
time. I didn't quite catch that.
Weird geometric shapes that make up an art piece.
Okay. Yeah. Well,
There's something there, I guess.
So I mean, there's styles you can work with that. So it's like it's a conglomeration of said shapes or pieces of color that are put together in a way to create a pretty image.
That's what I meant. Like the colors are all geometric. They're not blended.
Yeah.
They're not like blended into each other. They're all just slabs of color. That's what I meant.
So so I'm just elaborating on that. So like there you can also have like very organic shapes, and organic as a descriptive term is kind of like very wavy lines. There's no jagged edges or like straightness to them. They're usually more flowy, more liquid. Where geometric shapes are usually more harsh, more rigid, and then do have edges. And so it's just kind of like agreeing there is kind of like a geometricness to this, and it comes with how like stark and like sharp some of the brush marks are, especially like in the trees, and like how the character is, kind of illustrated. And so like I think that's very astutely put. Yeah.
I agree.
I enjoy the contrasts in this piece because there seems to be a difference between the top and the bottom of the piece in terms
very
of how
much so.
colors are
Portrayed?
kind of interacting with each other and
Okay.
portrayed. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a great word. So like at the top of the piece, you've got this, this vibrant green that kind of like clashes in a way against the pink and red trees, whereas at the bottom it's more of a nice little blend. It's soft reflection of the tree with the pink on the blue, and so there's really a big there's a lot of different things going on depending on what level of the piece you look at.
Can I just point out that I absolutely love that red and green, like in the top of the picture, like that entire
It
dynamic.
looks really good, doesn't it?
I
I don't
like
know what it is about it, but I really like it.
It's
Complementary colors.
well, yeah, like they're complementary,
Yeah.
but they're also a little lighter, and so like they're
Mhm.
also it's kind of like a lighter, more pink / peach shade of red, and
Yeah.
then a more not turquoise, but like a more aqua-ish shade of green. So they're kind of like not starkly like red and like very green. They're kind of like a shift, if you will, almost like closer to each other maybe, but yet still complementing colors. But it's just they're very, I don't know, serenity-ish isn't quite a word, but like
Serene.
They're very serene.
there you go.
Serene.
That's let's go with
Yeah.
that. So I like it a lot.
Yeah, I was gonna say like this piece has a very peaceful feeling to it, and I couldn't really put my finger on it, but like
Is it the sleeping pony?
it could be the sleeping pony. Like look at her expressions; she's so cute.
Well, even just minus the sleeping pony, like just
Yeah.
the scene in the background fits that mold or fits the narrative that My Magic Dream wants to.
It looks
to
like cherry
portray
blossoms.
again. Yeah, totally.
It's just so it's impressive to me that there can be. Usually when we talk about color contrasts, we talk about color contrasts in reference to how they make things pop, right? When you think about art pieces popping, it's standing out. They stand out against each other. There's usually this conflict of color which causes, these things to stand out. I find it impressive that in this piece, the colors are contrasting, as we mentioned before, between the green and the red, but they're still not giving off this aggressive vibe. They're not giving off this like huge energy. Like you said, it's still very mellow, and that's a really cool experience to have something contrast so much but still be mellow and serene.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I also appreciate the small touch of water reflections, like hitting the tree in the bottom of Rainbow Dash. It kind of, again, gives that kind of a warm tropical feeling, right? Because, like, I feel like tropical places or pools or whatever are more prone to, like, a bright, warm sun, like, hitting water and reflecting off. It kind of
Right, where you can
helps
see the
push
reflections
this
of the water
area.
on things above it. Yeah, you know, when I think about that phenomenon, I often think of like tropical places. Now that you mention it, I don't know what it is about the water or the environmental conditions that lead to that kind of reflection, but
Yeah,
I often think of, like you said, tropical places.
totally.
Mm-hmm.
Does this
Yeah.
piece feel cool or warm to you guys?
Cool.
Cool.
Cool?
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
I'd actually say warm.
Yeah, I'd lean that way too. Because, like,
I think it might be because it's warm on the character. At least that's my
Yeah.
perception of it, because I look at Rainbow Dash and I see
Mm.
that she's got warm shading on her from the cool light, right, Bernd?
yeah, totally. So, like, there's, well, yes. So, like, the bottom part of this piece is kind of more cool. You know, it has kind of like blue. It's very open, some white in there, and there's
Is
nothing to kind of push it towards warm. But then you have red in the top, and then like violet on the character. So where I get the warm feeling actually comes from the narrative. You know, like Rainbow Dash sleeping on a tree limb, where there's like, again, that tropical vibe with like sun hitting the water. So like I feel like the bottom feels kind of cool, but the whole piece, like everything, even the bottom kind of cyan colors can be a kind of more warm color. So no, so I feel like just kind of everything else around it makes it feel a little warmer.
Well,
for me.
I agree with you on the bottom being, like, underneath her being cooler. I disagree with you with the top being warmer. It's the fact that there's so much green, and the fact that that red/pink is so washed out and overtaken by that green gives it a cooler feeling to me.
You can see that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, I think this is a really cool piece because cool as in like,
Hey.
Hey.
what's it? Awesome. Yeah, I think it's a really awesome piece because I can see where you guys are coming from. When you guys said it was cool, my first instinct was to kind of go along with it because I could see exactly what you guys were talking about. But I can also see the other side, right, where people are saying it's warm for different reasons. This piece is very split in the middle, and I think it's totally fair to say either or depending on your perspective.
Mm-hmm.
I've also been to
Is it-
Japan and, like, cherry blossom season, and it's cold, so...
Uh-huh.
That's technically a part of why you'd view this piece as cold.
Mhm.
It's very legitimate.
I like the reflective colors in the water of like the pinks, because it's very, very subtle.
Mhm.
But like it adds something to the piece. Yeah.
I really enjoy this one. It's great, and that's not just because it's in Rainbow Dash and I can drag it up into my Rainbow Dash folder, but yeah, there's just something I really enjoy about the character, and we haven't talked about the character too much, but you know, I enjoy the pose,
Yeah.
I enjoy the facial expression, I enjoy kind of the scenario that she's placed in, and as we mentioned before, I enjoy the light that's cast onto her, and you know, how that kind of
Yeah.
creates a sense of serenity in and of itself.
I always like My Magic Dreams anatomy. Like Rainbow Dash, she's very kind of
Yeah.
lanky. Her back is very curved. Her butt's kind of in the air at the same elevation as her head, even though she's lying on a branch. And her legs are very kind of like long. So her limbs are very long, and I like that a lot. And then her cheeks too, where like has her chin up on the tree, like or pushes her cheeks up. That's really freaking
Yeah.
cute.
You know, kind of like talk like that, like we've got our
Yeah.
jaws pushed
Yeah.
forward a bit.
Mhm.
It's cute. Yeah. It's cute.
Yeah.
Okay, does anybody else have any other points about this piece?
I mean,
I mean, there's a
We
whole
already-
bunch, but...
yeah, we already gushed about My Magic Dream style. Like, I love the brush strokes, the looseness of different parts of the piece, and like
The reflected lighting underneath her from the water.
the pony anatomy style.
Yeah.
Like, it's just
If we
so
didn't
good.
touch on it, the violet used to shade Rainbow Dash again is a really nice touch. You know, separate her leg from her foreground background leg, and then also like change the hue of her wings, because like choosing to color her wings violet changes in how they contrast to the green above her, to where like her being blue on the bottom where the light is changes again how it blends into the background.
Mhm.
So
Is this the Violet episode?
But
Every
No,
piece
it's
you brought up
not.
something about Violet.
we
Small,
should
tiny
have
Violet.
another one.
I guess we have, yeah.
Cute stuff.
We
All right.
really should have another lighting episode though.
Nah, we're good.
Yeah.
It's not
Just
a
talk
big,
about it
it's not
every
a big part
episode.
about
It's
it
fine.
anyway.
Every episode's lighting episode. All right. So we're gonna move on from our art pieces now.
Mhm.
I'm gonna move to the thing that I talked about before. So we're gonna go on to the question section in quotes,
Question,
but it's not really the
yeah,
question section
it's-
because we're doing something really interesting this week. We got a question in from late customer, and we've reworded it to be slightly different. But he kind of posed a little game that we would play, and we thought the idea was interesting, so we modified it a little bit better for the show. And yeah, I guess without further ado, go ahead,
I
Joel.
thought you were going to take over my job for a second there. I was about to get
Nah,
very
you
annoyed.
can do it.
All
do
right,
it.
so as Rainbow Plasma has already explained, we have a little bit of a game. So I want each of you to pick a pony artist and describe their work in 3 words or phrases. And then the rest of us have to try and guess them.
Yeah. So we're each going to take a turn, and yeah, we're going to have to guess what the other person is thinking of, given the clues.
All right.
So yeah, I'm excited.
Who wants to start
We
us
all
off?
picked out at least one before
Oh.
before the show.
Okay.
So who wants to go first?
I could go first.
Go for it.
Okay.
Sure.
So my 3 words to describe this artist's art is painterly, landscapes, and color.
Oh,
Painterly, landscapes, and color. We each get one guess, by the way.
okay, I don't want to guess.
Yeah. You got to make it interesting, right? You got to make it like a
All
competition.
right, I'm gonna have my guess.
Okay. go ahead.
Cosmic
Should I-
Unicorn.
Should I say whether it is or not, or wait
Yeah,
for everyone?
Hold on. Can I hear the 3 words again? Just in case.
Painterly,
Uh-huh.
landscapes,
Yeah.
and color.
Color.
That last one's so not a hint. Everybody
Wait.
uses color. All right. Well, did Joel get it right?
No,
with
Joel-
costume?
no,
if
Joel did
if
not
it's
get
not
it.
cosmic, if it's not cosmic unicorn, then
Hmm.
I would guess what is his name? Husi.
No, it's not Husi either.
Damn.
Is it AJVL?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes! 1 point
I
for
was
me.
like, color, huh? So like Cosmic Unicorn
Yeah.
has
Yeah.
2 of those things, but I mean, I wouldn't say she's really known for like collect. She uses it really well, but more traditionally, not quite
Yeah.
like blown over. Where I could see
Yeah.
AJVL very saturated colors,
Yeah.
and so then I was thinking Husi. But that's because I really like Husi. But there's some of his paintings where they push color.
It
Yeah.
was either AJVL or Divinian, and if you had used those 3 hints for Divinian, I would have been very angry.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I could have,
Or-
but like
Well,
perspective.
that's cool. I'm already excited.
Yeah.
This is fun.
All right.
All right, there you go. The first one was AJVL.
Mhm.
Who wants to go next?
I'll go next. All right. So
Okay.
my 3 hints are unique style, dramatic motion, and likes to have fun.
Oh,
One more time.
my
Say
God.
it again. One more time.
Unique style, dramatic motion, and likes to have fun.
Oh,
Okay, can I guess
Oh.
first this time?
All right.
You got 1 point already, but okay.
Well, I'll guess last then. That's fine.
No.
All right.
Someone else?
Okay.
I don't even have a guess.
Can I guess?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aqua Galaxy?
No.
Oh.
No. I think I know what it is.
I did have her in mind though.
I'm gonna let Bernd say his guess first because I've already got a point. But
Motion likes to have fun. And what's the other one?
Unique style.
Ipiocho?
No.
I don't know.
all right, my guess is Undurpable.
Yeah. Damn it. That's all.
Yes!
Edit that
Also,
out.
we have to cut
Cut that out.
Yes!
Yes, you got it.
Woo, that's
2
2-0.
Oh my god.
I knew it. I knew as soon as you said likes to have fun, I knew it was Undurpable.
Yeah, because we talked about that.
That's good. What a champ. What a champ.
Yeah.
All right, Bernd, you gotta go. I gotta be 3-0 here.
All right. I may have a tough one for you.
I think I know your preference is the least, so this is gonna be the hard
And
one. for
I
me.
chose. All right, we'll see. All right, so the one I have, this is tricky because I feel like there's a couple artists who'd fall under these 3 words, and so I have a 4th
Okay.
word prepared just in case. But the first one is graphite only, then
Ooh.
cute and funny.
Oh,
Mm.
Wow.
Oof.
graphite only.
What graphite artists do we know
Graphite
besides
only.
Cosmic and
Oh, what was that one artist? Let me go look something up.
Cheats.
I want to make a guess, but it's probably going to be wrong.
It's fine. We'll have Max guess last again.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I don't want to get it wrong.
All right, then make Ted go, and then so if he's wrong, you'll have a better chance.
I don't even know where to begin.
What was the 3 words again?
Graphite only, cute, and funny.
Cute and funny. Oh my god.
Oh, you. All right, I've got my guess.
All right.
I've got my guess.
I don't know.
All right, I'll just guess mine.
I should have just said graphite. Would have been more tricky.
I'll just
Graphite
say
would have
yeah.
been fun.
Is it Mickey
Go ahead.
Monster?
It is not.
See, that's what it's. I knew it would be wrong.
Okay.
It was close.
I know what it is. I know what it is.
Ted?
But I'm gonna wait.
Got one?
Graphite only.
I'm gonna send it to you, Burned, so that in case Ted
Alright.
gets it, you'll know that I actually did know.
I'm not gonna get this. I'm just gonna go ahead and say Cosmic Unicorn, even though I know it's wrong.
It's
okay.
not Cosmic Unicorn.
Yeah.
But thanks for playing. Go ahead, man.
Is it Joey Darkbeat?
Yep. Yes, it is.
Yes!
That's the other name I was
Oh,
trying to
shoot.
remember.
I was thinking about that too.
Yes.
I was thinking that. It was either going to be Mickey Monster or Joey
3-0.
Very good.
Wow.
I prefaced this when we first came up with this idea and got the idea. I prefaced this as I'd be the worst one. So I'm so happy right now.
Yeah, solid guesses.
Woo!
Do we want to keep playing? I have 2 more.
Can I do mine first?
Go
Yeah.
for it. Oh, I forgot you're even here. You already won. Get out of here. Like,
No,
you
now you
already
gotta-
won. You don't get to play. Go ahead.
I'm the guest master, so you guys have got to guess mine. Okay,
Okay.
so
Alright.
this one I will preface this by saying, no, I'll just say the hints and then I'll say that.
Okay.
So my 3 hints are horse-like,
All right.
Uh-huh.
famous,
I know this. Possibly. Maybe.
and the 3rd hint is, and this one should give it away, BronyCon commission.
Famosity?
Yeah, you got it.
Hey.
If
Famous gave it away.
If the
Come
last
on.
one was like uncanny, I would have went with Citra.
Yeah, well, I felt, what I was going to say was, I feel like it's slightly unfair to Joel, because Joel didn't see me get
Right.
the BronyCon commission.
Yeah.
But yes. All right, well, that one was lame, and I'm bad at doing the other side, apparently. So, Burned, why don't you go ahead with your other ones?
All right. So I
So
have
we still got time.
I have 2, and I like this one. And you guys could totally get it, but it could stump you. So
Alright.
so the first one is super cute. The second one's small, and the last one's stubby arms.
Oh, I don't know this one. I don't know
Papuni?
this one.
Nope.
Oh.
So super cute, small, and stubby arms.
Yep.
Oh, I
Oh,
want to take another guess, but I'm not going to.
I've got an artist in mind. I just need to find out what the name of the artist is.
Yep.
And DeviantArt just gave me an error. No, DeviantArt.
No.
Can I make another guess?
Anything? Yeah, go for it, Joel.
Senchi?
I don't think so. Actually, no.
What do you mean you don't think
You
so?
don't think so?
I actually don't remember the artist's name, but I know what episode we featured them on, so I can give that as another hint.
Okay. I don't actually think. No, now that I look at this artist, it's not.
Okay, so I'm gonna give you guys another hint. We featured this artist on our Stack of Equines episode.
Oh. Okay. First, we're gonna be racing to see the stack of equines. Oh my God, where's Stack of Equines? I can't find
I
it.
can't find it either.
I accidentally added a bookmark.
Who's gonna get the point?
Stack doesn't come up with anything on our favorites page. Oh, stacking ponies?
Yeah,
No, what?
it's stacking ponies or whatever. Like,
Oh, Fluttershy the Kind.
I believe so. I have to double check. Fluttershy the Kind. Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fluttershy the Kind.
All right. I will say, based on your first 3 hints, I wouldn't have gotten it.
Actually, like, is it Fluttershy? Yeah, I believe it's Fluttershy.
Yeah, it
the
is
Kind.
Flutter.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
should
yeah.
be
So,
Fluttershy, yeah.
I will say that one
Yeah, I was
I might have
thinking
gotten
like
it in the end.
chibi bunnies and stuff.
So
Yeah.
the one that I was thinking of was Joy Call 3.
Actually, might be them. Their specific artist actually might be. What is it? Joy Call 3?
But it doesn't have stubby arms.
No, it's not.
That's why I didn't
it's
guess
not Joy Call 3 either. Well, crap. Actually, it may.
if it's the
it may not
Stacking
be
Ponies
Fluttershy
one
of the
here,
Kind, but I'll take that. Hold on, no. It's not. It actually wasn't that one. Crap.
What?
So there's this picture of like Pinkie Pie in a martini glass.
Oh, that
Oh,
one.
that's what you're thinking
Pinkie
of.
Pie in a martini glass. Isn't that Oh, who is that?
See, I wish I knew the artist name beforehand, but I remember all of their stuff. It actually isn't Fluttershy of the Kind. There's another artist that only draws cute little chibi ponies with short little stubby arms. I can't remember the name of them for the life of me.
All right, well, the bonus round is a sham because we don't even know the name of the artist.
Not even me!
Anyways, this is great. The person, this is going to kind of be like a game for you at home. So go and look up, try and figure out which artist it is. And I mean, we're not going to give away prizes or anything. It could be the prize is you got it right, I guess.
The first person to comment on this YouTube video with what the actual artist I'm thinking of is, we'll shout you out in the next episode.
You have to link the art piece too, I guess. Oh, you can't link on YouTube.
You can't link on YouTube. Just say the artist name. It's fine.
Okay, cool. We'll look it up and verify.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, that was super fun. That might just be because I won.
I like
But that was super
We should
fun.
play that more.
We should do that more.
I got one more for our fans to post on the YouTube comments. The three I'm going to give you can replay these because we're not going to play, is colorful, vibrant, and outlined. Bam. There you go. That's for you guys to play in the comments.
Now I want to play.
Shh, no hints.
Okay, well let's talk about this after we record. So whatever. But we should really wrap up here.
Yeah.
So that was super fun. You guys should let us know if you guys thought that was fun too. If that was as fun for you guys as it was for us. If so, maybe I guess we'll do it again sometime. But yeah, we should move on to.
We need a cool name like Google or Gavin.
Yeah, we do.
All right.
That's another thing you put in the comments. What's a good name for that game?
We can play it more often. All right. Anyway, I'm going to do plugs now.
Plugs.
So we have a couple places you can contact us. We have picardo.tv/Cutie Art Crusaders, which works now. Go there to watch our stream. cutieartcrusaders.deviantart.com, cutieartcrusaders@gmail.com is where you can send in some questions to us. Please do, because we are running very low. youtube.com/cutieartcrusaders, cutieartcrusaders.tumblr.com is another place you can go. Click that ask button and send us a question. facebook.com/cutieartcrusaders and @cutieartcrusade if you feel like tweeting us.
Did you guys know that Picardo's recently added that feature? The picardo.tv/Cutie Art Crusaders now works.
Yes.
Yeah, it does.
It's super awesome.
I also know that you didn't figure that out until last episode. That Picardo.tv was like completely redesigned.
I knew that.
Yeah, well, you know, I'm a busy guy. Anyways, yeah, that's everything for this week, guys. You guys have got lots to write about in the comments, so I'm not going to force you to do anything else like that. But please do let us know what you think about the game, maybe a fun name for it, and let us know the answer to the ones that we posed to you here today.
Yes.
And yeah, do you guys have anything else to say before we go?
I really wish I could remember the
Pony
name
is
of that
back
artist.
Pony's
this
back.
week.
So, spoiler
That
cast?
means we're gonna do a
I guess we have a spoiler
cast.
cast this week.
Yeah.
Hype.
Oh,
So-
jeez. I have to get back into that groove.
Yeah. So stay tuned for that. Right after these messages. Hey.
Hey.
No, we've actually got to wrap up the podcast.
Yeah.
We can't just. Anyways.
Sure we can. Bye.
Hope you guys enjoyed one. No, we gotta end it right now. Don't cut me off. The music started playing, guys. I've got a limited amount of time. So thank you guys for watching, whether or not you're on Picardo or on YouTube. We love you all the same. My name is Rainbow Plasma,
My name's Brendo1.
I'm Flutterguy317.
And I'm Atmospark.
and we'll see you guys
Next week.
Till we have a